Hi, Giant Slayers. So this is exclusive content for Giant Slayer 5 Stones Coaching Program members. So I wanted to just give you a quick lesson, 3 fears that are hampering your success now. Excuse the background noise, but I want you to take these 3 fears that we're going to talk through tonight and apply them forward this week. Be conscious of them, actively work forward in these areas to make sure that, one, you're identifying where these things are creeping up, and that you are identifying and that you are actively working on these steps that I'm going to give you in each of these categories to make sure that you are not falling prey to these triggers when they come up this week. Because I guarantee you that this week you will be challenged in these areas. And what I want you to start being conscious of is when they come up, that you deal with them when they come up. Because what often happens is, as they come up, we acknowledge them, we can identify them, but then we don't walk through them actively to make sure that they're addressed in time and on time. And so they become suppressed, and the further they become suppressed, the more of a giant, more of an obstacle they become, to the point that they make us unable to move forward successfully towards our goals, and they become stumbling blocks to our success. So the first thing that we're going to look for this week is the first fear that we're going to be cognizant of and aware of, and we're going to look for this week when it creeps up, is the fear of failure. So as we're going about the week, we have our goals. We know the things that we're aiming to do, to accomplish this week. So not talking about long-term goals, not talking about the things that we haven't started to necessarily walk through, but this week, the things that we want to get done this week. The fear of failure, when it creeps up, and it brings with it a need to have a guaranteed success, a guarantee for success, a guarantee that we will win, a guarantee that whatever energy, that whatever activity that we engage in is going to yield success. Whenever that feeling is, if I do this, am I going to win? When you get that thought, if I do this, is it going to yield a positive benefit? When you start to have those thoughts, remember, that is the fear of failure creeping its head. When you start to think of that thing, recognize it for what it is. Okay, this is the fear of failure that is making me afraid to move forward, because if I'm not guaranteed success, I don't want to try. If I'm not guaranteed success, I don't want to try because I don't want to fail. So what you're going to do is you're going to do whatever that thing is without the guarantee of success. Understanding that, yes, you may not achieve success in doing it. Imagine that. You might fail. You might not win. You might not be successful. But what you will gain is you will gain positive momentum. Positive momentum. You will gain a sense of accomplishment for moving forward and being honest with yourself about what had been a limiting belief, and challenging yourself to go forward, addressing the fear of failure. And even if it doesn't pan out, even if it doesn't work out perfectly, you're challenging yourself to move forward. Also, with the fear of failure, is there sometimes a tendency to want to stick to what you've mastered. What does that look like? Is that there are some things that you are naturally good at. Some things that you do very, very, very well instinctively. Some things that you've been trained at to do well. The fear of failure will make you naturally cling to those things because you know that it's likely to yield success and not failure. This week, I want you to challenge yourself to do something that you have not mastered. Again, with that is the risk of failure. With that, because you have not mastered it, you cannot predetermine the outcome. Force yourself to do something that you have not mastered and take the risk of failure. Third, the fear of failure. The fear of failure will always have you looking for someone on the outside to tell you what to do. An outside voice will always speak louder than what you know you are supposed to be doing, because the fear of failure needs validation. So this week, while wise counsel is always great, this week, I want you to do what you know to do without seeking an opinion from someone else. I know that sounds contradictory to what we're used to doing, but to overcome the fear of failure for you this week, I want you to march forward without seeking an opinion from someone else. All right, quickly. Second, the fear of rejection. We know what this is. You never fit in. You've never got along. You've been sort of that puzzle piece that has just never really meshed with the others. Because of that, that makes you second guess yourself on every hand. It makes you crazy. It makes you feel insignificant. And because it makes you feel insignificant, it makes you wonder whether or not it is okay to be the outlier. Well, in order to address the fear of rejection, I want you to do this week. Stop people pleasing. Whatever it is that you have on your plate set for this week that is not serving you, that is not serving your goals, I want you to pick up the phone, I want you to key in an email, and I want you to give it back. I want you to say, I'm sorry I'm not available anymore. I thought I could do it, but now I can't. Something more important has come up. I want you to, this week, make a commitment not to allow your time to be driven by people pleasing. Your people pleasing comes from a fear of rejection, because you feel like if you tell these people, places, and things no, that you will be rejected. On the contrary, I want you to become comfortable with the idea that yes, you will likely be rejected, and that is okay. Everyone will not accept you. You are not a part of everyone's tribe. Everyone is not a part of your tribe. Be comfortable with rejection. Start this week working on being comfortable with rejection. Starting with rejecting the things that you have on your list of things to do that are not serving your ultimate goals this week. Again, not your long-term goals. What you need to, the energy that you need to spend accomplishing your goals this week. Also, the fear of rejection will always have you wait on doors to be open for you instead of opening doors for yourself. Excuse the baby in the background, but we got to get this done. This week, I want you to work specifically on opening a door for yourself. There is something this week that you need to move forward on. That it would be great if someone would open a door for you and invite you in. They're not going to do it this week. But you have the power inside of you to open the door for yourself. Even if it's a small door, even if it's a crack in the door, I want you to take a positive step forward this week to open a door that you have the power within you to open for yourself. And don't worry about what anyone has to say about it. Third, the fear of success. Now, all of this that you've been doing, all of this forward progress that you know you need to make, underlying it all is a fear of success. Because you know that if you're actually successful at the thing that you want to do, it's gonna bring a spotlight on you. You don't like the spotlight because of rejection, Because of the fear of failure, it's birthed in you a fear of success and the spotlight that comes along with it. This week, I want you to work on being okay with being in the spotlight. Whether it's a Facebook post, whether it's a video, whatever it is, I want you to make one affirmative statement about your goal this week that puts you smack dab in the spotlight. Stop defending your failure. Stop defending rejection, and stop defending your fear of success by saying you really don't want it, people really don't want you, and it's probably not going to work out for you anyway. These are the 3 fears that are causing immediate stumbling blocks to your goals now. That if you take these tips that we've talked about today in this video and you work them this week, you will see an immediate return. Remember, success is not predicated on your ability to eliminate failure, because failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the opposite of trying. When you fail to try, you have failed. Nothing beats a failure but a try. So remember, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, and the fear of success are the 3 things we're addressing this week. Go get them, Giant Slayer. Remember, the only way to slay a giant is to turn and face him.